The garden has genuinely tested me this last week or so. I'm at a point where everything is on the ground and now we're just waiting. Nothing is quite producing enough for me to harvest, but I have decorated because I wasn't gonna have a garden and not have it be like cute. And things are coming along. There's definitely some growth happening, but I've also been dealing with some things. So welcome back to the garden. Some things have changed around here, so let's do a little tour so I can show you around. General overview of the garden. We have Brussels sprouts, marigolds, radishes, which are really starting to pop up with their leaves. In the center we have carrots, which are showing some signs of life. Chives, which are flowering. In this back bed we have all of our herbs, some nasturtium, which have been getting eaten by something and I don't know what. This is some little arugula leaves, some rhubarb that I did harvest and use in a recipe this week. Garlic, which is looking fantastic. Sage behind that. All back there is more nasturtium that hasn't been eaten, weirdly enough, and snap peas, which have yet to flower. I'm trying to train them to move in that direction to climb their way up this trellis. Tomatoes and basil, and then 2 different types of eggplant, some of which is being eaten as well. I did add these cute little shelves behind me for no utility and all vibes. I also put up this little mirror that was sitting in my house that I painted the inside of and hated, but I thought, you know what? Better sitting out here. So I have this guy that's hanging that I think I'm gonna add a potted plant to. Some wine bottles. Don't ask me why. A trellis that will probably eventually go into some bed that needs more height. And then we have a little froggy. Frog there, butterfly there. Good whimsical vibes all around. The challenges this week have been battling the animals. Something has been eating my marigold leaves, and then something has been eating my nasturtium leaves. I was able to do a little research and sprinkle some cayenne pepper around them, and that seems to have pissed them off enough so that they haven't come back yet. And I've been doing that like every 3 days. I don't know what long-term effects that's gonna have on my garden, but we'll see. It's very frustrating. I should also mention that I planted some swallow eggplant, and something has been eating the leaves of this variety in particular. They're not really touching this other variety that I have that is called Black King, I think. And they're not eating every single one. It's just like this guy. For some reason, they really like to munch on this guy. I also planted some flowers along the outside here. Seeds, not seedlings, and I'm not really sure if those are gonna come in or not, but I water them with love, hope, and water every day. All around the edges of my property, through no work of my own, there are beautiful, stunning, perfectly blooming lily of the valley growing everywhere. There's also these little bluebells. I'm gonna cut some and make a couple bouquets for myself, but also for some other people I might be seeing this weekend. Finally, I get to use my harvest basket on something that I had no hand in growing. I'm just gonna go around and cut them at the base. They're gonna have some little leaves that come with them. I'll probably separate most of those out when I make these into little bouquets. It makes a lot of sense that these thrive around my house because they grow in shade. They love shade. And if there's one thing that this house has a lot of, that this backyard has a lot of, it's shade. This is how many we ended up with. Luckily, for my wedding last year, I used a bunch of tiny bud vases on the tables, and I still have all those. I've yet to sell them. So we're gonna dig around and try to find 4 that are short and stout. Boom. Luckily their stems are so thin that I think that'll work to my advantage with these vases that have a really small spout. I'm happy with these. I even have enough left over to make a 5th bouquet because I can't really fit any more in here without this getting a little crazy. But that's it. Another week in the garden, stressing me out, but bringing me so much peace, obviously, because that's what gardening does. Hopefully next week we'll get a little bounty and maybe we can eat something out of the garden. What a novel concept.